on from the referee talk, I wanted to ask you boys about Ruben Amorim. He's at United now. He's just waiting for his work visa to be officially granted. Honestly, this is one thing about Brexit I hate. We have to wait for visas for European people. It's amazing. But he's coming in and he's got a plan. He has a plan, according to some reports, Staffy, in the short term anyway. It's not going to be Rasmus. It's not going to be Xerxes. The plan is to make Rashford his number one in the number 9 position. What's your thoughts on that, bro? For someone who doesn't like Rashford.
See, why do you keep doing that? This guy is obsessed. Let me tell you, this guy is obsessed. That's why after last game, the first thing this guy does after a win is tweet me saying, "I'm angry Garnacho scored." He didn't see me. He didn't speak to me. He didn't watch my watch. He knows nothing. He's obsessed. Anyways, no, it's not that I don't like Marcus Rashford. I'm not a big fan of Marcus Rashford. But yeah, I saw the reports. I thought about the idea. I saw. How do I phrase this? I saw a bit of anger from the fans, especially on Twitter. Some of them need to, I'm sorry when I say this, they really need to get their heads checked. Because someone was like, Amorim out already. And I'm like, all right, bro. This is just insane. You're out of because of an idea. Whether it's sarcastic or not, I don't know. I just thought it's weird.
And it hasn't even come from his lips, has it, Staffy? Like, this is a
no,
report.
like he didn't say anything. Today he's doing his first press out. I think. What time is it? UK now?
About 7 o'clock. The interview's coming out.
7 o'clock, yeah, because it's I was trying to think of my time. So he's doing his first press today, and we're gonna get to see it. But no, it didn't come out of his mouth. But it's an idea, and I hear it, and I think the fans need to accept this. That number one, we're playing a formation that's very different than anything we've done in the last 6-7 years. We haven't played anything similar to this formation since Louis van Gaal. So by that nature alone, a lot of players to have a position in this team, they will have to adapt, or their positions have to be tweaked to something similar. So we no longer have right backs or right wings, or we don't have left backs or left wings. So what are we going to do? Some of them are going to play as attackers. Some of them will play as fullbacks. Left wing backs and right wing backs. So they need to adjust their positions based on what the manager thinks. So it's very normal that we're going to see tweaks in players' positions. Rashford being used in, and I try to think of it this way. First of all, he's not on international duty. So he's going to be there in the training facility for 2 weeks. He probably got to meet the manager already if he's there. So when you look at it in a preparation type of, like when in that sense of preparation, he will have 2 weeks to prepare for a striker to play against Ipswich on his first game. Whereas Højlund is not there. He's with his national team. And I don't know if Xerxes got called up or not, but I highly doubt that Xerxes starts anyways. He's a different conversation. So it does make sense that for game 1, Amorim, the one attacker you will have ready to run the line will be Rashford. Now, is Rashford the ideal 9 moving forward? I don't think so. Because I look at him and I've heard that people explain the way Amorim likes to play. I listened to all the tacticals, all that stuff, watched a lot of videos, did a lot of research. And the way he likes to play his strikers, like he kind of likes to have everyone around him feed their striker into the box. So like Rashford is not that box striker that I think, okay, he's going to sit there in the box. We're going to loop crosses to him and all that, and it's going to work. I don't see it that way. But do I completely dismiss the idea of Rashford in the 9? No, I don't think so, because we're going to be playing different. I see Gyökeres, a lot of his goals come from the transition. If you can use Rashford in the transition, why not expect him to get a lot of goals? He's going to have 2 10s playing behind him. So do I see a vision of Rashford being played in the 9, running in the channels, running behind the defenders, getting balls being played by his 2 attacking midfielders that are going to be playing in that formation? I do see it. Is it a long-term thing? No. But is it something to throw a fuss about? No. We were just being reactionary. And as I said, you're going to see a lot of your favorite players being moved out of their positions. Some of them I don't even think most of them have a position. Like if you're a Garnacho fan, I have bad news for you, because where does he go? Is he a wing back? Is he going to play as a 10? Is he a 9? I'm not a fan, so that's your problem. You're going to have to worry about that. What's his name? Mazraoui. I don't look up Mazraoui, and I think he's going to be one of the wing backs, because he doesn't really have that that pace that I think Amorim's going to be looking for. However, I see Mazraoui playing in central positions. There's going to be a lot of tweaks. And this actually should be exciting. I can't understand people that are annoyed right now by just hearing speculations. Oh, Rashford's going to be in the nine. I'm excited to see how he's going to mold these players to play into his formation and his system and his tactics. And he might make some good players out. Like, let's not pretend that Rashford didn't score 30 goals just 2 seasons ago, less than 2 seasons ago. Let's not pretend that didn't happen. Let's not pretend that most of it didn't happen when he played in the nine. And if Ten Hag did that and we thought his football wasn't as good, and people rate Amorim, why shouldn't you be excited? I'm not saying by any means is Rashford going to go back to that. But why shouldn't that idea excite you just to be able to see it?
You know what it is in reality, though? It's people are... I said this when Ten Hag first came in. I said the day that he kind of publicly says something nice about a Rashford or a McTominay, certain people that don't like those players will turn on the manager. And it's all to do with people just wanting to be right. So there are people that have said for years, some of them have said it for 7 or 8 years, Rashford ain't the level of the club. They're just desperate to see him leave so they can say, I was right. And the idea that he might be played as a 9, it fills them with dread because it may not be long term. It could be 1 week. It could be until the end of the season and we go and get Gyökeres. There is a possibility, though, that if we create a solid system and Rashford fixes... Rashford isn't a great lone 9. But the way Amorim plays, as you say, with the 2 10s behind him, you're not really a lone striker because you've got 2 people very close to you. Rashford could flourish. Rashford could start scoring. And say Rashford did get back to his best level and Amorim makes it possible for him to be consistent over 2, 3, 4 years, all those people are interested in is I'm going to be told I was wrong about Rashford. Where for me, I just think as a Man United fan, whether your opinions on particular players are right or wrong, it should be the least of your concern right now. Man United becoming a better team should be up there. I don't see the point of wasting... If we play Rashford there for 2, 3, 4 games, doesn't work, and the manager's persisting, call it out. But I don't actually understand this idea, right, I'm against the manager now. And it just goes to prove that you're not Man United fans. Whatever you're doing this for online, you're doing it for yourself. There is no... I'm going to turn on the manager because he's going against my ideology. Bruv, like... The narcissism is crazy in my personal opinion, and yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not married to any one particular player. There's certain players that I think have to play. I think like De Ligt and Yoro Martinez will fit this team. I'm really excited at the idea of the double pivot. Ugarte's been looking good recently, and Mainu coming in. But let's just say Mainu isn't part of his plan. Doesn't like him, and over the next 2 to 3 years, Mainu's moved on. But Man United keep getting better and better and better and better. I'm not going to care that much. I'll care a little bit about players I rate, but in my lifetime, I've seen players I like leave my club, and this is why I don't know where this has come from from fans. Growing up as a kid, and I'm sure Lawless was the same as you, Staffy. Players leave our football clubs. Oh, gutted he's gone because you like them, but no one ever really created this. Like, there's a United fan online now that's now a Chelsea fan because Sancho's gone there. And it's like, I'm supporting Chelsea now because that's where Sancho's gone. And I just think to myself, where has this come from? Where is this weird obsession with not just being right, but if players you like are sold, I'm going to turn on that club forever now. Equally, if a player you dislike is played, I'm going to hate on this club forever now as well. It's a very weird approach to take as so-called Man United fans.
I didn't entertain that. I didn't want Ugarte at United, but now that we got a different system, I kind of understand now if he plays. And I kind of see him benefiting now in the system that we're going to play, especially that he's going to work with a manager that worked with him. And that's what I'm saying. He's like, we all have our favorites. Let's not joke about this. I feel like people are ashamed sometimes to say that you have favorites in the team or not. Every manager has a favorite and every fan has a favorite. It's fine. We all like certain players. We don't like certain players. But to be closed-minded to the point that a new manager comes in and he wants to try new things, and you're already like throwing a fuss because you don't rate that play. Like, I don't have to rate Rashford to sit here and hope that, well, you know what, maybe he works in the 9 and he bangs 30 goals again. And it's not like I don't even like Rashford. I just don't like Rashford as a player. I just don't think he's that good. But like, obviously not Rashford the character. I have no problem with it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people need to be open a little bit more. Ugarte, I didn't rate. I made a video saying that we didn't need to sign him. And Ten Hag kind of proved me right because he wasn't even using him. So I wasn't really wrong. But then Amorim comes in, and he's going to need someone to play next to that box-to-box midfielder who's going to clean up, win tackles, cover a lot of space, because now you're relying on 2 midfielders versus 3. In that system like that, I understand Ugarte, and I hope that he becomes that player that Ruben Amorim was using before, because it means that system is going to work. People just need to put their bias aside for a little bit. Like, I get it. We all have favors, as I said. There's players I don't really rate and I don't like and I want to move on. But people need to understand that this manager just came in 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and I'm seeing people already throwing a fuss. And they're going to throw a fuss even more when they see the type of players we're linked with. Because I'm sure we're going to talk about this as well. We're linked with Branthwaite now and Kirkes. And a lot of people think Branthwaite is overrated. But there's a reason why we were linked with him in the summer. You can tell that Ineos had this plan all along. Because now Ruben Amorim comes in, and the rumors coming out is that he's pushing for that move. He kind of likes the links to Kirkes and Branthwaite.
Yeah.
And if Branthwaite gets into this team, Terry, where does he play? He's most likely 99% taking Martinez's position, and a lot of people in our fan base like Martinez, so they're going to throw a fuss about that one as well.
Well, I think and this is why I've got faith in Ineos, and even though I didn't agree with Ten Hag staying, I felt that was my internet gone. I felt that a new coach was needed. It just goes to prove that we were buying players in the summer that were for the club's longer term project, because as you said, Ugarte wasn't being used because I don't think Ten Hag was almost like, this isn't the kind of midfielder that I want or would buy. But it's what Man United want moving forward. As an example, we're still linked to Branthwaite, as you say. Nothing's going to be, and that's why I'm not panicking about who plays in every position to begin with, because it's going to take 2 to 3 years to build the squad that can play the brand of football we're looking to play. There's going to be people that, if you go and look at the Liverpool team that Jurgen Klopp first took over from, even if you go and look at Pep's first City team that was a title-winning City side a season or two before that, the changes that were made to it were massive. You know, you look at Arteta's, I mean, they haven't won a major trophy since the FA Cup. But you look at the team he inherited to the team now that's been challenging for the league titles, it's different. Man United fans have gotten, this is where the whole sort of, if I have high standards, we should just, if we all have those high standards and the manager has those high standards, we should be challenging straight away. It's an idiotic point of view. It's almost like you're doing it so you've got an excuse to moan. It's going to take some time to get there. We need to get behind this genuine first rebuild at the club. I don't really get the meltdown. I'm excited about it. I'm really intrigued to see who comes. How do you see it from the outside, Lawless? And where United fans are maybe reacting to it?
Yeah, like I think obviously there's going to be extremes on both sides. Like I don't think people should be dismissive of anything. Like yeah, Rashford, he hasn't been good, but a new manager comes in. I think everyone gets a clean slate. At the same time, because I hear, I'm excited about Amorim and he's going to unlock Rashford. Like we've seen what we've seen from Rashford over years and years and years, different managers. He can be very good, but he blows hot and cold. So I wouldn't be getting excited. I wouldn't be dismissive. Like you just got to give the manager a chance to do what he needs to do with this club. Like new system, new approach, fresh ideas. He is an exciting manager. So that's what I'm saying. I never get why fans have agendas against their own players. Like people accuse me of having an agenda against Souček, for example. I don't have an agenda. My opinion is I don't think he should be starting. However, if I got a new manager and come in and he goes, right, I believe Souček can be the man, I'm going to go, listen, I can't see it right now, but I'm going to get on board with the vision, right? If he's going to do it, I'm going to give it a chance. As much as I don't hate any of my players. There's some players that I think aren't good enough to play. That's different. It's not personal. Some people take it personally. How can you have a personal vendetta against a Rashford, someone who came through your club academy? Like Staffy doesn't have a personal issue with Rashford. If Rashford's banging in goals, he's happy. Go Rashford. That's how it should be as a fan. So, yeah, like it could go wrong. There's no reason not to get excited. Like that's what I always say. People want to dampen people's excitement. I like to sometimes get carried away and get excited because if it all goes wrong, then I can deal with the misery. Then let me live in bliss right now. It's
a little bit like this. Imagine you book a really good trip away with your boys. You're going to go Vegas for 5 days, flying out there in business class. You got your 4 or 5 best mates. You're going to be excited. Now, The flight could be horrendous. The hotel could be horrible. It could rain the whole time. The parties are crap. You lose loads of money and you come back and go, that was a shit holiday. That could happen. But imagine that's your outset before you go. Are you looking forward to going? Nah, just in case it's shit. I mean, that's the logic some people, rivals, want you to have about your football club. I'm not saying get carried away. Oh, United will be champions in 2 years. But the idea that you can't have a genuine bit of excitement, I think it tells you more about the disposition of certain individuals. Some people are not happy unless they're not happy. They have to be unhappy to almost be happy in this world. There's some strange human beings out
As an
there.
opposition fan, I want you to get excited because if it all goes wrong, it's more funny. It's even funnier. If you're all calm and cautious, then it's not as fun.
Bro, this is why I think this generation, I think it's younger people, because they've grown up in a world where banter and jokes are almost illegal. You can't take the mick out of anyone. If they don't understand what real banter is, let people get excited. Let them do it. And it's more funny when it goes wrong. The same as people trying to banter me. You got a German manager managing England. I'm like, bro, if you're not even seeing that. Yeah, imagine we win with him. Do you know how good that banter is? One of the reasons I wanted Xabi Alonso at United, just on a personal, subjective level. Liverpool legend making us back. That cuts deep. When we got Jose as manager, I wanted him to be successful for Man United's sake. But part of me would love to have gone to Chelsea fans. Your greatest ever manager has just made us X, Y, or Z. There's that for me is where it get the banters at a higher level. Nowadays, everything's just, we'll banter you if you're good, we'll banter you if you're bad, we'll banter you at the first hurdle. No one knows how to marinate their food anymore, genuinely. It's fucking ready-meal bullshit. Instant coffee is what these man's banter is. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Let it simmer. Terrible. Let it simmer.
Exactly. Let it simmer. Viewers, make sure you hit the like button for us, please. Just over 400 likes, which is amazing. And nearly 2,500 of you tuning in, which is absolutely brilliant. So make sure